All right, so today we're diving into Santa Clarita Real Estate,
Yeah.
specifically Valencia. And we're going to be using a recent market update from Connor with Honor,
Right.
a local realtor,
Uh-huh.
to guide our conversation.
Okay.
Think of this as like a backstage pass to understanding the trends in Santa Clarita.
Oh, like that.
So Connor kicks things off with an overview of the Santa Clarita market as a whole. He mentioned 432 active listings with prices ranging from, get this, 153,900 all the way to over $5 million.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's quite a spread.
it is.
What do you make of that from a market perspective?
Well, I mean, it's just a real diversity in the market, right?
It does. It really
Yeah.
does. It's not just catering to one type of buyer, clearly. You've got options for different budgets, different lifestyles.
Right.
Which is a sign of a healthy market,
Absolutely, yeah,
a vibrant market.
for sure. And digging a little deeper, Connor said the median price is around $844,000, with the average price per square foot sitting at $457. What do you think about that?
Well, it's interesting to consider both those numbers together. The median price gives you a sense of the typical home value, whereas the average can be skewed by those higher end properties. So looking at both gives you a more balanced understanding of the market.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
You don't want to just look at the extremes.
exactly.
Now, Connor had some interesting thoughts about interest rates.
Okay.
He believes they'll remain fairly stable for the next year, primarily due to a strengthening economy, boosting bond buying.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that prediction?
That's a really important point for anyone considering buying in Santa Clarita right now, because a lot of people are hoping for a drop in interest rates. And it sounds like that's not in the cards,
Yeah.
at least not in the near future.
It's a good reminder to plan based on current conditions, not speculation.
Yeah, don't wait around.
Right.
Don't try to time the market.
Right.
Just go with what we have right now.
For sure. And Connor echoes that sentiment. He emphasizes the need to focus on the personal and financial benefits of homeownership, like building equity, mortgage deductions, and just the stability of owning your own place.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's classic advice, but it's solid.
It is.
Buying a home's a major decision, and you have to ground those decisions in your circumstances and your long-term goals.
Exactly. Don't get caught up in the hype.
Right.
He also brought up an interesting point about deep fakes. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yeah.
In online real estate data.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's talking about AI-generated content that can sometimes be misleading or inaccurate.
I see what you're saying.
Could you elaborate on the potential risks this poses for buyers and how they can protect themselves?
It's a bit like navigating the world of online advertising. You can't always take everything at face value. And, in the case of real estate, these deep fakes could involve things like artificially inflated property values or manipulated images to make a property look more appealing than it really is.
So it's just buyer beware.
Right. You have to be discerning with online information. Do your research. Verify anything that seems too good to be true.
So it sounds like Connor's advice to consult with a local agent is even more relevant.
Absolutely. Local expertise is invaluable. Someone who really has their finger on the pulse of the market, can provide those nuanced insights that you just might miss from browsing online.
Yeah, that's a great point. Now let's shift gears a bit and zoom in on Valencia specifically.
Yeah.
Connor shared that there are just under 100 active listings there, with condos and townhomes ranging from $350,000 to $900,000, and single-family homes falling between $750,000 and $2.5 million. The average price per square foot in Valencia is $440.79. How does that compare to the overall Santa Clarita market?
It's interesting. Valencia's price range seems a bit more condensed than the broader Santa Clarita market. That might suggest a slightly more specific demographic drawn to that area.
Interesting.
Perhaps families looking for that community feel, good schools,
Okay.
or maybe those attracted to the area's specific amenities and lifestyle.
Yeah, that makes sense. And speaking of differences, Connor pointed out that condos and townhomes in Valencia seem to be selling at a quicker pace compared to single-family homes, likely due to the price difference.
Right. If you're looking for a property that might move quickly, condos and townhomes in Valencia could be a hot ticket.
Good to know. Now, Connor did offer a word of caution about HOA fees in Valencia.
Oh,
He said they can be quite high, sometimes even exceeding $1,000 per month.
wow.
Yeah. And he also mentioned that older properties can face unexpected increases.
Oh, that's tough.
It is. That's a critical consideration, especially for first-time buyers who may not be aware of how significantly HOA fees can impact their budget.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. A lot of people don't think about that. When they're budgeting for their new home, those HOA fees.
Exactly.
You
to
got
factor that in. Now, Connor also emphasized the need to really understand the why behind your desire to buy. Is it driven by financial goals, lifestyle changes, maybe a combination of both?
Yeah, I found that part of his update really insightful because he's encouraging us to look beyond the surface, the appeal of a property, and really connect with, the underlying motivations for making such a significant investment.
It's not just about finding a house you like. It's about finding a home that aligns with your vision for the future.
Exactly. And sometimes that vision might require you to challenge your assumptions. He mentioned that some buyers might be holding out hope for a drop in interest rates.
Right.
But based on his analysis, that might not be realistic.
Yeah, that's a good reminder to be pragmatic.
Absolutely.
Looking for lower rates is one thing, but, planning your finances based on the current reality, that's a whole other thing.
Absolutely. I think that ties back into his advice about not trying to time the market, perfectly. Instead, just focus on finding a property that meets your needs and your budget within the current market conditions.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now, earlier we discussed that there's a variety of price points in Santa Clarita, which suggests a diverse range of buyers. When it comes to Valencia specifically, what kind of buyer profile do you think is most prevalent there?
Well, based on what we've gleaned from Connor's update and our general knowledge of the area, I would say Valencia attracts, a good mix of families, individuals who value a certain lifestyle.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. What are some of the elements that contribute to this Valencia lifestyle?
Well, Valencia is known for its well-maintained neighborhoods, often with those HOA fees that we discussed.
Yeah.
And those fees often translate to amenities like parks, pools, community centers, and just a general sense of well-kept surroundings.
Okay, so it sounds like those HOA fees, while they're high, they're also contributing to the very environment. That attracts a lot of buyers to Valencia.
It is a trade-off, but buyers in Valencia seem willing to pay a premium for that, sense of community, those well-maintained amenities.
I wonder if there's a connection between these higher HOA fees and the faster sales that we're seeing for condos and townhomes in Valencia. And perhaps those property types appeal to buyers who are comfortable with that HOA structure and the lifestyle it provides.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, it could be that buyers who, prioritize convenience, community amenities, maybe a more manageable property size, are gravitating towards those condos and townhomes and therefore are more willing to accept the HOA fees.
Yeah, and let's not forget the potential impact of those deepfakes we talked about earlier.
Right.
Having a local expert who can cut through the noise and provide accurate information is more important than ever.
It is.
Especially in a market like Valencia where online listings might not always tell the whole story.
I couldn't agree more. Because those AI-generated details can be incredibly convincing, even to seasoned buyers.
Yeah.
You need somebody like Connor who can help you verify information, spot those potential red flags.
Exactly.
Make sure you're making an informed decision.
So it seems like working with a local agent becomes even more crucial when you're dealing with a market that has all these nuances.
It does.
Like the HOA structure and the potential for misinformation online.
Precisely. You need somebody who understands that landscape, can interpret those subtle market signals, and guide you towards a decision that aligns with your needs.
Absolutely. Okay, before we move on to the final takeaway from Connor's update, I want to touch on something he mentioned that really resonated with me. He emphasized the importance of, recognizing and understanding your personal motivations for buying a home.
Oh, absolutely. I found that to be incredibly insightful. It's like he's reminding us that buying a home, it's more than just a financial transaction. It's a deeply personal decision.
And sometimes those personal reasons are the most powerful drivers of all. Whether it's the desire for stability, the need for more space, or just the dream of creating a space. That really reflects who you are. Those emotional motivations can often outweigh any purely financial considerations.
Right. It's true. It's like he's encouraging us to connect with the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
What are the deeper desires, aspirations that are fueling this whole thing?
And I think that's a beautiful way to approach it. It's about finding a place that resonates with you on a deeper level, a place where you can truly feel at home.
Absolutely. And in that sense, the search for the right home, it becomes more than just a hunt for the best deal. It becomes a journey of self-discovery.
Well said. Now, Connor closed his update with some specific advice. He encouraged potential buyers to consider. He encouraged potential buyers to check out his website. SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com for the latest listings and market updates.
Sounds like a great resource, especially for people who want to really look into like specific properties
Right.
or neighborhoods
Yeah,
within Santa Clarita.
definitely. It's a great way to just get a feel for what's available and stay informed about any new developments in the market.
Right. It goes back to that having a local connection, someone in the
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap up our deep dive today, I want to leave our listener with a question. Based on everything we've learned today about Santa Clarita, what type of property, if any, aligns best with your current financial situation and future goals?
That's a great question. It really encourages the listener to think about, all this information
Yeah.
and how it applies to them.
Exactly. Whether you're actively searching for a new home or just exploring the possibilities, it's valuable to think about how these market trends and expert insights might inform your decision.
It's all about finding the right path for you.
Well said. Okay, well, that concludes our deep dive into the Santa Clarita real estate market.
Great conversation.
Yeah, it was. We hope you found this exploration insightful and engaging.
I did. Until next time.
Yeah.
Happy house hunting, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Talk. We'll see you on our next episode, where we'll explore another fascinating topic.